So Aruna, I've heard this before, but it'll be lovely for other people to hear it too. What drew you to Ayurveda?
Ayurveda is a very holistic way of living, and these days I'm like very drawn into it. Being a minimalist and doing sattvic sort of a food, my mind is like sort of taking me towards that. Partly it could be the way I grew up. My dad was very strict growing up. He always emphasized on eating right, eating mindfully. We wake up pretty early in the morning, sleep early. At that time, we would get very annoyed because we never got to go to too many parties or you know um, eating outside food was sort of a taboo. We always made homemade food. That was just one way. Since I grew up that way, it sort of helped. And now, after experiencing, so I grew up that way, and I had all those. My mom would cook very good food, healthy, be waiting for us when we came back from school. But then I moved to the US after my marriage. For convenience, we started doing all sorts of, quick methods, right? Eating, um, you know, out very often if I couldn't make something at home. And it did show in my health, and I had some serious health issues to the extent that the doctor would want me to do like a surgery to remove my uterus because my bleeding would never stop. At that time, I realized my mom had a similar experience, and then I realized how that sort of affected her well-being after the surgery. A day-to-day lifestyle, everything was like very, it changed her. She had more joint pains and whatnot. So I always didn't want to go towards a surgery route. Want to take more of a holistic route. And a lot of people felt, I was not doing the right thing, trying this new,
Being stubborn
being
about
stubborn
it.
about not
I
going through
remember
a
that.
surgery, right? I used to talk to you about all of that. But then after like it was a difficult following a specific diet, and it was not easy, but the long term effects are brilliant, right? If you see me now, I'm like what 10 years older than what I was, but I feel 10 years younger because the way we changed our lifestyle, eating, cooking right, eating mindfully is in very important thing that everybody should follow in their life. Um, Food is like is so precious. It's given to us in abundance, and if you don't pay even like give 10 minutes of your time when you're eating mindfully, what is the point in leading a life like this? So I I think Ayurveda teaches exactly that. I went through Ayurvedic medication, changing food diet. Everything sort of aligned so well.
But it took a long time.
It
It
took a
was
long
not an
time.
overnight
Yes. So
transition.
I feel instead of getting into a situation like that, a challenging situation like that, and trying to reset your body, right, to correct itself, if you can do preventive measures when you are younger, isn't that a better
You're
option?
avoiding that whole trauma
Yeah,
that you went through.
you
Yeah.
went through. There were days, if I think about it, I would wonder, am I taking the right path? Because people were like, what are you doing?
I
Right?
remember, yeah.
And but then I was taking a chance. The doctors were not super happy about it. But, I said, no, I'm going to trust whatever my instinct, whatever I feel inside me, I'm going to do this.
You
So,
were brave to do that. I remember that Aruna faced opposition or challenged. People were challenging her decisions at every step of the way, but
yeah.
it took a lot of courage to stand up to it and say, no, I'm going to take the hard way, but the more sustainable long-term way.
Yes.
So,
So I had like friends. Sri was one, and then I had this family doctor, my husband's father's brother. He was super supportive, right? We call him Raja Chitapa, and I would talk to him because he was a gynecologist. He used to be one, and then now he does a hormone therapy. He said, Aruna, you don't understand the Western medications. What if you're brave enough to do this, go ahead and do that. I'm going to support you. I can even, do, if you come to my clinic, I can even do some tests for you just to make sure if everything is going in the right direction. All that really helped. Yeah. So if the family members can support you And if you get into a situation like that, nothing is too late.
Correct.
You know, you can still rectify and do it, but I would very much encourage the younger generation now to follow some proper diet. Take a bit of a time, like half an hour of your time every day, to learn how to cook.
Make a small meal for yourself. It's a
Make
small
meal,
step.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a small step, and it doesn't have to be fancy, right?
Very
You know,
easy.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Just making a soup and like a stir fry vegetable. How long is that going to take? Right? So,
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that.